afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. How are you? Thank you for coming for the 7th EmpowerHER session. It's really lovely to see you all here. And hi to our online viewers. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you'll enjoy this session today. My name is Demi Morella.
And I am Mina Chege. We're more than glad to be here.
Yes.
Especially for the online participants. Where are you watching us from? It's good to know, so that at least we can know. The ones who are in Nyahuru, we have gifts from there, Kisumu, wherever you are. Just let us know where you are on the comment section. Let us know that you're following, so we can have a good time together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Demi, tell us about the Build Empower. Some people may have been tuning in for the first time. Last time we had about 1,000 plus in.
Yeah.
So today probably some new faces will be there. Could you introduce to them what is this all about before we get started?
Okay, so EmpowerHER is a monthly initiative that is run here at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, where we promote financial literacy and capacity building amongst women of all backgrounds to support them in their financial journeys. So we usually invite experts in the industry to come and share their knowledge. The sessions get personal and also very technical, and that's mostly about EmpowerHER. So it's empowering women to invest into the market and to support them, and for them to learn more about the different investment vehicles that there are.
So let me ask you a question. I know this is just a bluff in a way. I'm a man. I just check it. Are men supposed to also tune in?
Yes, we even have another man in the room here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Yes,
we are together. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just check it. So, guys, I think this is going to be an interesting time. And as Demi normally says, let's be very active in terms of questions, everything else. We're here to learn from some of the industry leaders, as she has rightfully put it. So feel free to engage with her. And by the way, Demi, so what's the subject today?
Today's theme is super exciting.
Yes.
It's financially fearless, breaking glass ceilings. Fire.
So
yes.
you want to break them, right?
Yes, we do.
So as usual, just before we start, we like getting to know who's in the room and, where do you come from, just very quickly. So I'll pass the mic around, and so very quickly you just stand, say your name, where you're coming from, easy, all right? Or is there anything else you'd like to know? I think that's it, is it?
I think
where you're
ahead.
coming from?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent, yes. So where do I start? I think I'll start from that end. So let me come by closer. So you pass the mic, say your name and where you're coming from. That's all right? Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stella Mwangi. I'm from Old Mutual, and I'm a financial advisor. I was invited by Joanne. Thank you.
Great, welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm Wanjiro Gashao. I am the author of this book. I'm also a business person, and I saw this poster on IG yesterday, and I sent an email, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
And I hope to network today.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Zainab from Kenyan Wall Street, and I'm happy to be here.
Great, thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Shali Waitaka. I'm a financial advisor from Old Mutual. Joan invited us, we came as a group.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Joanne. I'm the one who invited them from Old Mutual. Thank you.
Hi guys,
Hello.
I'm Shalin Mwenda, also financial advisor Old Mutual, Irende yote, basically.
Karibuni Old Mutual. Thank you for representing.
Hi, my name is Melvin Anyango from Old Mutual. We are happy to be here, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Caleb. I'm a financial advisor from Old Mutual.
Great.
Hi, I'm Riri from Old Mutual. I'm a certified financial advisor, and I'm looking forward to network with everyone.
Great. Karibu.
Hi, my name is Esther. Looking forward to network with everyone. I'm also from Old Mutual.
Awesome.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm Jacinta from Old Mutual.
Good afternoon. My name is Felista. I think I go the same as the author. I saw the poster on Instagram at night, and I thought, wow, NSC is teaching people things out here. So I'm looking forward to learning
maybe to become fearless.
Great. Thank you.
Hi. My name is Anchege. I run a company called Nairobi Sneaker Store. I was here when Rina Hicks was here and I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward for this session. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Anne. I work at the Rates Association of Kenya, which is housed within this building. Looking forward to the session. Thank you.
Excellent.
Good afternoon, everyone. Maybe I start by saying welcome to the exchange. My name is Lucy. I work with Demi. I am from the Human Resources Department, so happy to meet you all.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wangui Mwangi. I also work for the exchange, and it's good to see a whole group. I hope the rest of you will bring along your friends.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wendy Owade. I also work here at the NSC. Karibuni sana.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The rest of the guys are from Old Mutual. Hey, I was all about to say, I don't know, I think we need to appreciate Old Mutual.
I think we really do.
Yeah, they were given some leave or something. You guys are amazing. I don't know whether maybe our guest used to work there. I don't know.
Maybe
we'll
there's some connections.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Anyway, it's interesting we call it Old Mutual and they're very young. I know, I'm kidding. That's a joke. We'll get it next time. So, Demi, I think we can't wait to hear from the people. Yes. I just wanted to alert the guys who are online. Please introduce yourself as well, who you are, where you're watching us from as well. We'll read some of your comments on the go, but feel free to interact with us. So, do I have the honors of calling in the guests?
You have the honors, Maina.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
drum roll.
Yes, as the only man, sorry, you and I are together. We have one more man here. So I think it's indeed a pleasure to, I know Joyce from some distance. I think her family has a member who we shared classes. That's how we started, all right?
Okay.
And then we met up in the industry, in the sustainability industry, all that. And at some point she called me for a great event they had when they were launching themselves from, it was Petco to Pack Pro. And right now she's the CEO there.
Wow.
And really, it's indeed, Demi told me to just make it nice. It's indeed my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we appreciate Joyce. A round of applause to her, please.
Wow.
Just welcome. Welcome. Over to you, Demi and Joyce.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Very excited to meet you.
Pleasure as always.
Great. So for the people in the room who do not know you and our online viewers, I'll allow you to kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Okay, so Joyce Gashugi Waweru. I am the Chief Executive Officer at the Packaging Producer Responsibility Organization. We are a business member organization, which means we represent other companies. We have about 160 companies today. These are multinational brands, your local super brands, as well as small and medium enterprises. Okay. And what we do is to ensure that their packaging, when you drink their water or use their deodorant or something else, we collect the packaging and ensure it's treated, either through recycling or any other means as prescribed by the law.
Wow, thank you. That's amazing. So I'm guessing that has to do with the sustainability field, right? Yes. Okay, great. So looking at today's subject, financially fearless, what does this mean to you? And could you define for us a moment in your financial journey where you had to be financially fearless? So maybe we can start with what being financially fearless means to you.
I think being financially fearless is about having control of your resources, your money. And I think at my age, I'm not too old, by the way. Let me put that out there. But I think for me, when we talk about being financially fearless is how do I rein in control of my finances? And I think when I look back at my life, I would say there have been many instances when I've had to become financially fearless. ideally, of course, I love money. We are girls.
We all love
Generally,
money.
we love money.
We all love money.
but we also are big spenders. Okay, and because of that, we usually find ourselves in a catch-22. Always.
I agree.
And I think for me, throughout my journey, I think from when I was very young, I knew that I wanted to be financially fearless. I knew I needed to have control of my finances, but I didn't know how. So today, I can go into Google, Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok, and get knowledge on how to invest, how to manage my money. There's a lot of information about that. At the time when I was in my 20s, that information was not available. Today, we even have programs when the preteens, they are being taught how to manage money.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, this wasn't the case when we were growing up. So my relationship with money actually matured at a much later stage than when I was younger. So when I think about being financially fearless now, is that what I'm trying to instill in my daughter and anyone who is younger than me is start early. So starting early means look at your money. People always think I'll start managing my money when I get a good job or when I start earning XYZ. No. Matter of fact, whatever habits you have when you have no money or little money, you will only scale them up when you have more money. Yes. So if you're a big spender now, you spend carelessly, believe me, when you get more money, you'll be spending to the power of, if it's 10x your increment, that's what you'll be doing. And so for me, I think when I look back, I've had debt, I've started a business and it failed. I've had to learn how to monetize my skills. So I'm in the sustainability space. And so I started a consulting firm. Now I think it's nearly 11 years old.
Wow, congratulations.
I know, I just
That's
thought about
amazing.
it.
Wow.
But now it's fully fledged. It runs on its own. I don't need to be part of it. So it has its own structure, management. I do sit on the board, but it's a company that has its own employees and a team that's running. And we do have, I think as a business, they do have significant client portfolio. But that was my skill, okay? And so the question is, what do you have? Okay, so a lot of women, we find ourselves, especially in the environment we are moving into, where life is going to become about a gig economy, okay? So the jobs we know now, the 9 to 5, in the coming years, they're going to start dissipating, okay? So you'll have more people in the gig economy, freelancing, making more money than you in your office. And so the question is, what are the skills you have? It could be something as simple as, I have a network of like 100 women. Yeah, you might not see that as a resource, but can you imagine if 100 women were paying you only 1,000 shillings a month for whatever you're selling to them? It means you have 100,000 easy. Yeah, and so it's about looking at what do you have that you can be able to quickly catalyze so that you're able to make money. More importantly, when I look back at a turning point in my financially fearless journey, was that I needed to sit down and actually draw up a plan. I needed to look at what is my investment portfolio. Do I have an investment portfolio? Yes. Because this is a question people need to ask. Do you have an investment portfolio? And what is your investment portfolio? Because it's not just putting money in your bank. Okay? What are the areas of interest to you? There's a very big disease in Kenya, and women are proponent number 1. Something called Broti Maguta Maguta, where you hear there's an 8 somewhere, you run for it. An 8 somewhere, you run for it. But when you sit down and look at your aggregated liquidity position, you have no cash. So you have many small plots in the middle of deserts. You can't even farm. You cannot turn a profit on those properties. So you're sitting, everything is dead. You have no liquidity. And from an asset perspective, even offloading that asset, you would have to sell it at a below market rate when you need cash. So you need to really consolidate. What am I doing? Even when you're buying land, when you're pursuing this land investment, why am I pursuing it this way? Do I need to buy? Can I lease? Can I do A, B, C, D? So that's was the plan for me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's super inspirational. So it's very important to always have a plan when you start saving. And as little as you're making, it's important to start then. I think, like, for me personally, I had that problem in the beginning when I started to now, like, make money. I used to be like, no, I'll save later. It's too little, you know? But I think it's important to always just remember, when you start saving, it becomes a habit. And to look into other ways of saving, right? Okay, great. Thank you. So to the next question, what would you say are key financial principles every woman should know to be financially fearless? How can women identify and seize investment opportunities in the capital markets, for example?
So you need to be able to read a room. Yeah? You need to be able to have a very attentive, I say discerning spirit, because you need to be able to understand how the markets are evolving. And markets is not just the stock exchange. It could be our economic market, the economic situation we are in. So maybe today NSE tells you the stocks are dipping, the prices are low, and you're like, they're not doing well, I'm not gonna put in money there. But you know what? This is actually the time.
Yeah.
This is the time you want to put in money, because they've come to our level. Yeah? It's not the big boys now who can afford to just come and swoop everything in the market. We actually are able to play, okay? Number one. Number two, leverage information. I keep saying, like, if I were to go back to my younger days, I would definitely leverage the amount of information and knowledge that is out there. There are people who have, and I know we have a lot of financial advisors in the room, but they have been able to package, you know, like, where should I invest, where should I not invest, okay? So it's almost like your homework has been done for you. You just now need to do a little bit more due diligence by asking the right questions to determine whatever is out there, if it's valid, okay? So if you're talking the money markets, you know, is it your circles, is it, you know, land? You need to look and assess what is the information out there. Another thing that a lot of us do is we think we are going to be young forever, okay? Like, you know, my beautiful young age is going to be here. For the next 10 years, I'll be the same age, and I won't. So you really need to start investing for the future. And future, looking at your retirement. When I'm not working, what happens? If you do have dependents, if I'm not there, what happens to them? Because I think a lot of the problems, and especially for us in the African context, where automatically you're born, there's a black tax attached to you. Because we have big families, there's always somebody who will tell you, I need something. Always. It's just the way we are. We need to be able to be cognizant of the what if. What if I'm not here? What happens to what I've already built? Can it be sustained beyond myself? Okay? And that's where you find a lot of different tools and instruments in the market. I'm not going to market for anyone, but they are available. Look at what you can work with. So for me, I would say those are the principles I'd look at. And then, of course, lastly, is study what people who are successful have been doing and are doing. Look at the journey and the areas where you find a lot of those that are making it work, the path that they are following, and assess whether it's fit for purpose for you. You don't have to come in at the same level or the same skill. You can start it and graduate it, but definitely there's a place for learning from others, especially those who've been successful at what they're doing.
Fair enough. So would you consider that, or would you advise women to take riskier investments? Because women are always known to take very safe investments, or rather safe options for investing. Would you encourage women to at least consider like a risk?
So the same way when you go to the market and when you buy your eggs, you know the way they give you a tray and you're scared between the supermarket or your market and the home, how you're carrying all of them. You're scared because you're carrying all of them. They can break all of them at the same time. It's the same way you should look at your investments. So you do need to diversify. I like to go for a mix between safe and risky. Risky is good because the returns are good, but you could also lose all your money. I've done that. I've lost money. I've lost a lot of money. But it's also been a point of very good returns by making the gamble. Another thing, there's no good thing that has been born out of no risk.
That's very true.
Yeah. No good thing. Whether you look at innovations, look at M-Pesa, you have to take a risk. You have to take a risk.
Yes, you do. Good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so I know you've talked a bit about your career, but I'd like to know how you started and how you managed to climb to the top of the ladder, especially now that you're a female CEO. Because, as you know, I think there's been conversations about gender mainstreaming in a lot of companies where women don't even get to sit in board-level positions. How did you find yourself there? How did you fight your way to get through to that position?
Well, it's funny. I'll take you back to when I knew I wanted to study. I'm an environmental scientist. That's my background. But when I was going to university, I think aside from my mother, my father, and my immediate nuclear family, nobody else was like, people were like, what is that? What are you going to become? Actually, there was a running joke in my circle. They used to ask me, are you going to become one of those tree huggers? Are you going to become a herbologist? Because they're like, how are you going to make money? What career is this? Because it just wasn't something people were talking about. And I remember fast forward to when Wangari Maathai won the Nobel Peace Prize. And people were like, oh, is that what you do? So there was now association. It wasn't it, but now like I had a conversation point. I was able to explain this is what it is, but they still didn't get it. And so I remember my parents, they are always been futuristic, always looking at what paths is the world moving into. And so they really encouraged me to get into this space. And I think today my family, actually my 3 siblings, were all in the sustainability space.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Bar one who is in communications, but the rest of us, 3 of us out of 4, we are definitely in the sustainability space in different areas. But that it wasn't that their core degrees are in environment, but the reality is, I think for me, was trying to understand. I've always been purpose-driven. Like, what do I want to do with my life? I've always known I want to help solve problems. I've always known I wanted to make a difference. And so when I went to university, I felt like I found something that was able to meet those 2 goals. And so by the time we graduated, I think, a class of 17 students. You can imagine, from Kenyatta University.
Wow.
Today, the same program has about nearly 1,000 students.
Oh, wow, it's grown.
Yeah, it's grown massively because this is where the world is headed to. But for me, once I started my career, I thought now, oh my God, so I'm going to go work for the UN, because this had been, my role model was working at the UN, which is why I wanted to get into the space to begin with. But shock on me, my first internship was at Nairobi City Council.
Oh my.
Not just Nairobi City Council. When I appeared to work, I remember I had worn nice boots, like formal. You know how you're excited you're going to work the first day? So I rocked up, and then I was told, I remember, I think Claire Oyake, she was the director of environment. She told me, no, you're not reporting to this office. This is City Hall Annex. You're going to go to the office that is just near, I think, the back streets, I think near Luthuli or something. So I said, okay, maybe it's a smaller office. And so I walked there. When I opened the gate, the first thing I saw was a lorry for picking trash.
Oh, gosh.
And so the guy told me, Joyce, it's good you've come. The lorry has been waiting for you. You're going to be the supervisor on this route. oh my God. I said, Jesus Christ. So I was like, can I get lighter duties? And I was like, no, this is going to be your job. So you're going to supervise the entire CBD area, making sure trash is collected.
Wow.
This is going to be your driver. You're going to be working together, and you're going to go and discard this trash at Dandora.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Had you been to Dandora at that point?
No,
Oh my.
where?
That is
I was like,
shocked.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Yeah.
So, of course, the next day I rocked up in different clothes, but, more fit for purpose. But that was my journey. Surprisingly, and I always say, after that, then, of course, I graduated, and I worked for an American company that's also in the recycling business, but from a waste perspective. But then I wasn't feeling like I was using a lot of my skills there. I was earning very good money for the age I was, because I was already earning a 6-figure salary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, by the age of 23, I was already earning a 6-figure salary. And so I said, my God, now I need to go back to school. So I enrolled for a master's program. And then now I kept feeling like, oh God, I'm not getting my skill set. I'm not really using my skill set, because I was now it was more an administrative role, management administrative role. And so I remember going to tell my boss, I think I have to leave. I need to go and pursue something along my career path. And then he was like, where are you going? Like, which jobs are this? Is it, an NGO? Where are you going? So I said, honestly, I don't know, but I'm going to go finish my master's while I figure it out. So this is my 6-figure salary.
You've gone back to do your master's?
I think I only had salary for maybe 4 months, to run me for an extra 4 months. So I didn't have a plan. So I started applying for work, but I didn't have any skills in the environment space. So I wasn't getting any feedback. So I said, can I come in as an intern?
Wow, after having a 6-figure salary, you've gone back to being an intern.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can imagine, I went back, I got a position, and guess what my stipend was? 15,000 Kenya shillings. Wow. So I was like,
Wow.
I remember my father asking me, will this be enough even for your transport? And I was like, to be honest, I'm not sure. But I did. Thing is, 6 months later, into my internship, I remember one of the big development partners came into the country, and they wanted to work on a program in Nairobi City Council. And the firm I was working for was a consulting firm, and so they were shortlisted to work for this project. But now, I remember my boss coming to ask me, your CV you had written, you had done some internship work at Nairobi City Council. I was like, I did. Do you understand the landscape properly? Perfectly. I can tell you how waste moves, da-da-da. And so I got into the project, and you can't believe my first 1 million shillings, I actually made it as a consultant on that project.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's
so
something.
I grew from that. I moved to government, worked in the private sector for different companies, the UK, and now I came to Petco.
Okay.
To help other companies manage their waste. And I think because we started that business, at the heart of it, the Kenya government wanted to ban plastic bottles that you use for your water and drinking water. This is after they banned the plastic bags. So they were like, which is the next most polluting product we see in the environment? They were like, there are a lot of plastic bottles. And so at the time I was hired, as a country manager, because we also had another, the main company was in South Africa. And so eventually it evolved. We got into policy making, and eventually then my board hired me as the CEO when we transitioned from Petco to ParkPro.
Amazing.
So that's been the journey.
That's a beautiful journey. Wow. I think it's even more amazing the fact that you knew what you wanted to do from the beginning, and you literally went back, humble beginnings again, then you made it to the top again. That's amazing. In your field, did you ever feel that it was male dominated? Did you struggle as a woman getting roles, or even like just trying to prove yourself in the organization? How was that for you?
So
and how did you overcome it?
Of course it is. So I mean, I'll take you back to especially when I was working in the carbon markets. I worked in the carbon credit market for nearly 6-7 years. And at the time, no one knew about it. It's not like now where everyone is like, ooh, let's get into it, do our regulations. And, you know, that time, we didn't have a lot of people. More importantly, we were actually all women. At least when we think back to the people who we were working with. But we would always find that the men would be called to give their, you know, thought leadership more before the women. Always, it was always like that. We'd go into a meeting and it was always, oh, Kamau, come. So, but Kamau is coming to ask Joyce, what do I go say?
Oh my gosh.
So,
wow.
you know how this works.
Yeah.
So it went like that. So the thing is, and I always say, I think what happens is you find a lot of women take this so personally that then they get a complex. So they become very angry, but the idea is to work smart. The idea is to be able to work smart such that whenever you get an opportunity, you're speaking up. Because it's very easy when someone else is taking advantage of your work for you to get lost in that discussion. So I think it was always being able to put up your hand and say, no, I can do this, I can do this. Eventually, you'll get the space. Yeah.
Amazing, great. That's good to know and good information for me to keep as well. The next question is, are there financial opportunities for women to grow in the sustainability sector? So with this being said, like, what do you think about gender bonds? Could it be like a tool for women to gain financial investment from?
So there are many opportunities. So like in the space I am in right now, we actually have more women working in the sustainability space in this particular area of waste than men. Largely because, one, women have something that men struggle with, which is status. So a woman doesn't have a problem being able to start a waste management company. She'll quickly start it and run with it, pivot and scale. A man will be like, waste? I mean, no. Who can I get to do it? But these women are making millions. You see the difference?
Yeah.
And I'm talking from low income, bottom of the pyramid, all the way up. We're beginning to see a lot of women really taking up their space. And I think for me, that's one area. If we look at even the climate change space, be it the trees or anything else, you're still beginning to see a lot more women coming in as opposed to men. So is there an opportunity for bonds? There is. I remember when I worked in the government, we even tried to do a derivatives project with Nairobi Securities Exchange for carbon. But I think because of the limitations we have on the exchange in terms of diversified bond offering, and even our own government, we don't have a lot of offerings for bonds that are different from infrastructure or, for the corporates. And so I think the opportunity that exists is definitely to be able to have green bonds that are being invested in green economy to scale up those investments. Beyond that, of course, women, money has no gender. Money has no gender. So where there's an opportunity, women are able to put money together faster than any group of men, I assure you. We might need 1,000 women as opposed to 100 men to raise the same amount of money, but we are able to come together much faster, and we are able to leverage our networks much better. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay. This is actually funny enough. My final question. As a thought leader, how can women in the corporate space inspire and support each other to be financially fearless? So women, I think women sometimes in the corporate space, it can be very competitive. Instead of supporting each other and lifting each other up, they can butt heads. So how would you advise women in the corporate space to support each other to at least achieve the same goals, to be financially fearless, as I said?
I think for me is to pay it forward. So when I think about a lot of the doors that have been opened for me, someone had to open them. It might not necessarily have been a woman, but my principle is that women need to pay it forward because we understand each other's struggles. So I may be sitting in a board where I know they're looking for the skill set Demi has. I need to prioritize Demi. I need to prioritize Demi. So women, we need to prioritize women because men have been prioritizing men for so long. And I think we haven't had the chance to see women prioritizing women. And I think this is the best time. I think the biases that exist in terms of capacity, skills, it's no longer up for discussion. I think what every woman needs is an opportunity. And so we need other women to avail these opportunities to other women because men will always avail opportunities to men. So the higher up we have a woman, I say, this is my principle, open the door for another woman. It doesn't have to be at the very high level, but wherever she'll get her foot in, if that woman can pay it forward by doing it to another woman, then we have an entire chain. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. It's important that we stick together and open doors for each other. I think my co-host disappeared, Maina. I don't know what happened to him. Are you here in this room? Were you uncomfortable because the women were talking, or? I think now we can get some questions from the crowd and the online viewers. I don't know if you want to start with the online or the online viewers? With the guests here, okay. Anyone with some questions regarding anything we've talked about or anything that you'd like to know from Joyce? Okay, Anne?
Old Mutual must have a question. Feel free. By the way, Joyce, there's one person who asked, what's the worst mistake you ever did with your money? Maybe we could start that as we... Yeah. Share one.
Of course, buying useless things. Buying useless things. This is just a standard. So this bad decision, I can't say that I'm completely out of it because I still do make some bad purchases. But starting a business without having a proper plan, that was my biggest mistake.
Don't we all buy useless things? That's a good one. So who wants to go first? Oh yeah, there you go. At least I have two hands. So let's go.
Hi. This is a personal question. Maybe you could help me with. I am in the process of setting up a consultancy, and I'm thinking beyond the money that I'll be able to make. So one thing I've come to learn is we make money and move into a higher status, yes, before investing. So my question is, what are the safe investment opportunities right now for someone who doesn't want to get into buying a lorry and transporting rocks, like safe opportunities right now before we study something more heavy, something more demanding of our time and our effort. I'm clear?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay, thank you.
So I'd say anything that is offering a return higher than the inflation rate. You have some very good money market funds. Also, you don't want something that you're parking, because if you're going to use it as capital for a business, you don't want to park your money in a place that you can't quickly get it out. So you want to look at an investment vehicle that offers you an easy get back your money out, but the interest rate is higher than what the inflation rate is currently at. So right now I'm doing a lot of money market funds, for sure, yeah.
All right, we have another question. I can see one at the back here.
I have a question, almost related to what she asked. So you've talked about where you can invest your money to get a return. But I'm just wondering, in terms of maybe a side hustle, something that you can do on the side that's still giving you money while working a full-time job. What are some of your thoughts around that? And yeah, how can people also make money from the side?
So that's a good one. Ideally, we need to look at what you have, like what are your resources. So for some people, it could be they are able to have a garden and get some organic vegetables and quickly sell them. For others, it could be they have a network they can quickly offload some thrift clothes to. For others, it could be makeup, it could be, you know, there are so many things. But the most important thing across all is leveraging technology. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like if you're able to leverage that, you can sell anything while you're sitting here 9 to 5. So it's about understanding, and you can do a quick survey with your friends just to find out, you know, get a pulse of what is it that they want. You understand? I'm also in the process of doing something like that. I've been trying to see, people are just sitting here not making money, but there are opportunities. So it's find out, and also what are your strengths? Yeah, what are your strengths? But remember, sometimes your side hustle can grow so quickly that it requires you to then add a layer to manage it. So you need to have that. When you're doing your plan, don't look at it as, oh, I only want it to be giving me maybe 100,000 extra. No, because once you go out on social media and everyone can access this, then what? So look at your plan holistically and look at it not just as a side hustle, but if it were to become a full-on established business, can it grow beyond the small system that you'd have created? So ideally, I would say, look at the things that women are demanding a lot. I use TikTok. Honestly, right now, I discovered it like 2 months ago. So like now, oh my God, I'm in the rabbit hole. I'm like one video after another, and I'm like, oh my God, how are these guys selling these things so fast? Like a lady will come and she'll be like, oh my God, guys, I have this for sale. And honest to God, in 2 hours, she's like out of stock. So I'm like, she did nothing. Like she just came and said, and it's gone. Yeah, and only for me to find out, it's not even her product. She just goes online and markets for other people. So there are so many opportunities, and I guess the fear of social media, which I have, but you don't need to be the face. You don't need to be the face. It's about understanding what the market out there wants. Yeah.
So you said you discovered TikTok when?
Actually,
Just
2 months
checking.
ago. 2 months ago. I'm honest. I'm honest.
I'll see you behind the tent. I'll see you behind the tent. We need to discuss about your generation. So there's a question here. So go ahead.
So I have 2 questions. The first one is, did you come up with your own investment portfolio? And what are the general principles that you can share with us? Then the second one is, where in regards to, you talked about the gig economy, where do you see sustainability in the next 5 to 10 years? Yeah.
Oh, those are good questions. So did I come up with my own investment portfolio? A little bit, yes. So of course, I do real estate, but also, of course, you have your SACCOs, money market, bonds, etc. I'm also now trying to look at offshore markets, investments, but it's a mix of everything. So as I said, now I would get a lot of information, I consult a lot, and I research a lot. Like I'm a Google freak, completely, 100. Try to learn what's new in the market, what are the opportunities, especially because I know I have a lot of UAP guys in the room, Old Mutual. You have a lot of people trying to sell you policies. And everyone says their policy is better than somebody else's. So I say no, because I like to research a little bit more on what it's offering and compare with an alternative vehicle. My safe investment is definitely real estate. And I started just by leasing property. I didn't even start by owning the land. So it's doable. Now I'm looking into farming as another investment vehicle. So I'm spreading it as I grow. 5 years from now, I think AI is a reality, even for us in the sustainability space. Granted, we do have a little bit more technical skills that are harder to wipe out, but I do feel like the opportunities will be around knowledge sharing, a lot of information. So you'll have a lot of people likely publishing courses like come learn this, or let me teach you a little bit about XYZ. I see that as a big opportunity. I also see an opportunity around our everyday problems. It could be food. People want to know what are they eating. They don't know what are the different challenges with the food we have. They want to know what are the water sources. Are they clean? What are the challenges in the water? So also still around a lot of information, but also innovations around solving those problems. So I see a lot of business opportunities around innovations in tech to solve our everyday problems.
Thank you so much for that. Let me cross over to this other side. Anybody with a question now? The fear is gone. Just checking, just checking. All right, Joyce, there's someone who's asking online. Sorry, let me just retrieve the question very fast. Thank you so much to all the online viewers. We are asking you, share your questions now or never. I know, I'm kidding. I mean, we will always answer your questions. I think one of it is basically on the NSE. Someone is asking, where do we start to diversify this portfolio? I think you used such kind of a word. Maybe I could try after Joyce.
I think just start. So I think I started investing in the stock exchange when I was in university. Yeah, I was fairly young. But because I was like, oh, there's money. And also, I was in a government where the stock exchange was very vibrant. This was Kibaki's era. So the stock exchange was very, very vibrant. I think maybe if they were to do an analysis, they had probably the highest, youngest participation in the NSE at that time than now. Also because it was easy to quickly buy and sell and get a return. But I think the first thing you want to do is open a trading account. You do want to have, you know, your investment account, the CDSC account. You really want to start with that. And then from there, honestly, look at businesses, the structure. Think about the future also. So don't look at the past. It's not always 100% proof that just because a company didn't do well before, it will keep not doing well moving forward. Look at what is the policy direction, what is the policy environment, does it create demand for whatever that particular company is doing in the next few years. Where do you expect the growth to look like? So for me, those are the parameters I usually use.
Excellent. I have two more questions that have come online before I get a physical one here. There's someone who wants to ask a question. I'm just checking it out. So Joyce, what drives you? How are you able to be a CEO and run other companies and also run your own? I think that's what they're asking. So yeah, drives you running companies.
Yeah. So to be frank, it's hard to be a CEO and run other companies. So you definitely need to build teams and trust in your teams. So for my other companies, I don't run them per se. I offer more of an advisory role, either sitting on a board or together with my husband. It's not really me sitting there to offer day-to-day management. You do need to invest in the right team and the right people. So you can't do all of them. One will fail, for sure. Yeah, one will fail. So you have to pick your struggle.
Pick your struggle. Final one here. There are actually two, but let me just ask one, then come to the physical, then finally this one. So many times we worry about having conflict of interest or focusing on one and not the other. Then they disappeared at that. I don't know whether you get the question.
I do.
Yeah, online participants, when you ask a question, make sure you put a full stop, question mark. But yeah,
punctuation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, conflict of interest is a real thing, and that's why for me, I don't get involved in day-to-day running of my businesses, especially like like my consulting firm, because then you do have a likelihood of having conflict of interest, but more importantly is the demand that you would be stealing from your employer. So that's why I was advising the other question, that when you're thinking about your business, how you're structuring it, think about it growing and you needing a management layer, because you will need one. You can't do a 9 to 5 and run you can't do 2 jobs at the same time. It's not possible, yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Let me come physical, then we'll... Thank you online, guys. Keep asking. We have time. Here you go.
Thank you again. Mine is more of a comment, maybe not a question, or rolled back together. So one of the resounding themes in your career journey has been that you can only connect dots somehow looking backwards. I wonder what you're doing with that information for the younger generation in growing them and impacting them, because for sure if you didn't report at the city council office that day, we could not be where we are at right now. So I wonder what you're doing with that, given the current generation. I myself, maybe had I seen the track, I would have changed my mind. But look at you now. And then number 2, you're a woman on board. We applaud you for that. That space is still lacking in women. I wonder what you're doing to grow the next generation, or maybe even where you are at right now, to influence. It said you can only, I can look at you and know your friends. They say, look at your friends.
Look at your friends and I can know you.
Yes. So I wonder where your friends are. Are you influencing some of them to be on that stage? Yeah, thank you.
Wow, those are deep questions and comments. So the first one, looking backwards, yes, I connect the dots, and I guess it's tied to my theme of purpose, living a purpose-driven life. But also, I think on principle, as a company where I sit, to be frank, we have a lot of Gen Zs as my colleagues, okay? And so intentionally, I try to steer them to grow. And they can tell you, if you meet them, that I will usually throw them in the deep end. And then I go rescue them, and then we walk together. So, because this is how I was trained. I was also thrust, and then now, come, let's help you, kind of, and I'll always reel them back, but I try to grow them, and I'm also trying to develop their management skills. Like, this is something concerted. A lot of CEOs are typically not doing succession planning, or they are doing it because it's forced upon them. From where I see it, I'm trying to see how can I raise leaders from within the business that can be able to run things when I'm not there. So this is something I do intentionally, but beyond that, I've also been thinking about how can I do this beyond, that's my company, because I do have a lot of women, especially in our field, who come and say, where do I start? How do I do this? How do I move? So I'm trying to also see how to structure something. And I think I've always used the fact that I'm busy as a CEO, so I don't have a lot of time. But I'm trying to break out of that bubble so that I can be able to onboard others. And then lastly, you asked about? Yes, women on boards. Yes, it's a limit. It's not easy. But I think one place I've found some solace is the Women on Boards network. And I strongly encourage all women, whether you've just started your career, join them. Honestly, it kind of helps develop our skills and capacities. I found a lot of learning. I'm a lifelong learner, by the way. I can just study for fun. So they training women. So I think because for so long we've had only men on boards, we don't have the picture of women on a board. And we don't know how to connect with them, because we've always assumed also the women who get to sit on boards, they have to belong to either a multinational, a big local super brand. No, it isn't that. So it's about being able to be part of that community. So I strongly encourage women to join that. Yeah.
All right. I think I have another question here.
My name is Felista. You've mentioned that you're purpose-driven. And I think purpose is one of those reasons, big whys, why we were born and why we'd like to keep doing what you do. So my question is, how did you go about discovering your purpose? And what is your purpose statement? Thank you.
What is?
Your purpose statement. Thank you.
You're getting deeper. So how I discovered my purpose, to be honest, I'm a Christian, and so I really did a lot of conversations with God. I don't think that you have to go back to the person who created you. This is the God honest truth. Purpose evolves as you walk through your journey, but it would be unfortunate to get to the end of your life and then discover, oh my God, the dots now have joined. So that was my purpose all along. So for me, it was really, I think when I was 33, is when I had a conversation with myself, and I called God into the meeting room to have a conversation about my why. What am I doing on this earth, you know? Where do I move? How do I go? What do I need to do? And so today, I also don't take up opportunities just as they present themselves. So someone might come and say, oh my God, Joyce, there's this opportunity. I think you're right fit for the job. I'm always like, anyone who knows me will tell you, no, she's going to tell you she has to go first and talk to God. This is what I do. So I do have to really always first understand, is this aligned to the bigger picture? So I always think about a bigger picture. And my purpose statement is that we are born with a blank canvas, and I try to paint mine with the brightest colors. Yeah.
All right, this one who feels they have had a conversation in their room.
It's me again. So you seem to be familiar with the NSC, some of our product offerings. You talked about derivatives. I think you mentioned bonds and green bonds. So as the CEO of BackPro, do you see any opportunity for either climate bond, green bond? What are your thoughts around that space? And maybe how can the NSC be of assistance to you?
So to be frank, and because I worked for a very big government agency, I had actually, I probably was one of the first people to actually present the idea of a green bond. One, when we look at our market as it is right now, you have floated enough infrastructure bonds, okay? And you're just not connecting with the market anymore. You can see the last issuance, I think they've had to reopen too, not long ago. But more importantly, when we look at how our government system is structured with the county governments, we are not going to always have enough money to share between the national government and the county governments, okay? Yet, a lot of the things that need to be developed, to be frank, when we're looking at water, our sewage systems, transportation networks, electricity, we can be able to find a way to align them to green economy. And so I do think that the time is ripe, to be honest, right now, for a green bond. And structure it in such a way that it only finances green projects. I do think the return is it's very easy because of where we are in the continent. Even if we're talking in the energy sector, we are heavily reliant on renewable energy. So it would be very easy to craft one for that. And you could either choose to have it as a climate bond or a green bond. But I definitely think the time is right for it. Yeah.
Any other, finally, Old Mucho. This is gonna be loaded.
Yeah, okay, so thank you so much for the session, please. My background also is in sustainability. I've done disaster management and sustainable development. And as soon as I was done, I entered into farming. And it has been one hell of a ride. It's just my first year, I'm entering the second year, and I'm trying to grasp the air. But it's okay, still holding on. And then obviously with time I joined Old Mutual and I'm now a financial advisor. And the thing is, I'm coming to the realization of there are so many things that I did not know that I should have done when I was starting, because then I would have saved myself a lot of hectic. And right now, as a financial advisor, mostly for me, even in the eyes of God, as much as I'm trying to sell something from UAP, in the eyes of God, I'm supposed to be telling these people about investment portfolio, stuff like that. And but there's a problem where we know, especially with the young people, how do I approach this young person without making them feel as if, you know, I'm trying to just sell you into something? I'm actually like trying to give you some form of investment, or maybe mine may not be the best, but you know, I'm in the eyes of God truly. There's something that I'm doing as a financial advisor, but it's a serious challenge to reach people, especially those who have not maybe are not maybe educated or something like that, but we want to make sure that we reach them. So how do we reach those people? Yeah.
So it goes back to my discovery of TikTok. The reality is people only understand their language, and they only understand their language in the form in which they engage with that language. So if you're talking to a Gen Z, you cannot be selling your product the same way you would sell to a baby boomer. A baby boomer, you can tell them, can I come to your office? We have a meeting. A Gen Z doesn't have that time. In fact, even the bandwidth for sitting for 1 hour to talk about finance, a finance product is like, what are you saying? So you have to be able to crystallize quickly what is the value, what is required of me, and can I do it and I don't have a lot of money? These are the things you need to answer. So you need to be able to package that information in a very short format so that you get their attention first. So that then you're able to have the conversation beyond now that five minute clip that you have. But ideally, this is true for a Gen Z. If I go to a Mama Mboga in Marikiti, she has a lot of money. She has a lot of money, but if I go speaking the English I'm talking to Demi with, she won't get it. She'll be like, go talk to somebody else. Or wait for my son who is in university to come, you'll talk to him. So you've missed a client. And unfortunately, that segment, you know, they know how to mobilize. They can mobilize for you 200 women. Yeah, they can. They can quickly bring together. If she gets it, she'll bring others. So you need to be able to understand what is her. How do I talk to her? What is the language she understands? And language is not only English, Swahili, or whatever, but how do I communicate with her at her level, and what are her needs? It could be she's thinking, I've been selling this mbogazi in Marikiti for the last 20 years. Yes, I make money. I only put it in chamas. I'd like to diversify and think about my retirement beyond when I'm not here. So she doesn't have that picture. So you need to understand what is that picture for her. What does it look like? And paint it for her. Yeah.
Wow, that was a loaded one, as I told you. Now, there's a final one here, I guess.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you have a mentor? And also I wanted to ask, how can you advise young women or young girls to position themselves in a way they're going to get mentors and to be in a place where, and how they can go about it so that they can shorten their financial journey or their success journey without making some blind mistakes which they can be guided through? Thank you.
Wow. So I don't have a mentor, but I have a coach. I do have a coach. She challenges me quite a bit. I think when you're looking for a mentor or a coach, you need to ask yourself, what is it I want? Okay? One, the person who you want to mentor you, do they espouse the ideals? Have they achieved the things you want? You get what I mean? Are they the picture of your success? Okay? And it might not be a full picture, but the things that are mission critical to you, do you see them in that person? And then from there, you can be able to put together. So you have to put together your own pitch when you're looking for a mentor. Because I think the misinformation out there is a mentor will just sit with you every time and tell you, no, do this. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of work that you also have to put in, and that means there's a requirement for you to know what you want, okay? And I say some targets. So in the next 1 year, what do I need to have done? How do I want to see, what is my growth trajectory? And then be able to see whether that relationship with either a mentor or a coach is actually yielding that growth. So that you're not just sitting there talking to each other all the time. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, now I think I'm just trying to be seen on the camera. So, oh, you've had a moment. There's a moment here.
It's me again. Yes. As you were speaking, I remembered a video that I watched of an interview of a CEO. I think she's an Indian CEO. And she was talking about how her family life has suffered from her having such a high position. And so that has taken me back to a meme that circulates a lot around social media, where we see a cat which is disheveled, and they write, "This is me trying to stay hydrated, manage my family, take care of my business, etc., etc., etc." And when I look at you, you seem to have figured it out. Like, you look hydrated, you look very graceful from the way you speak. I mean, you seem to have found that balance. And truthfully, a lot of us actually are that cat, disheveled. We are jumping from here to there. We are trying to balance things out. Even when we have money, we're not able to balance it out. You could give us a secret, kindly.
Well, I would love to say that I have a formula, but ni God man say. To be honest, I have a very supportive partner, very supportive, and that it does matter. I'd be lying if I said that I would be able to achieve a lot of what I have achieved without that, because he has helped a lot to be able to allow me to kind of stretch myself while still being able to hold it down. But also, in my list of priorities, family is number one. So it's not my work. So I usually have my family first, and I think it's everyone knows that who works with me. Because I also try to instill, that's the value I've also instilled at the workplace, that family does come first, and then all these other things. I think my fear, I think, in my career was that you get so much, but then at the end of it, I always thought you're sitting in your big house all alone, and as you've said, a disheveled cat. So this was always the thing that I tried to be very intentional about. So try to carve out the time for my family, because I don't believe in a work-life balance. My work is part of my life. So I just need, in my schedule of activities, it takes up 9 to 5, and then my family is a part of all that in there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And to pray a lot. To be honest, as I said, ni God maze. It's tough. Yeah.
Let's close with this from LeShawn Claire. That's a name, So are you open to mentoring people? If so, how can we contact you? Yeah. And thank you, LeShawn, on YouTube.
Yeah, I am open to mentoring people. Of course, I usually have a limit. I usually do only 3 max at a time, intentionally because of being available. But I would share my email address. You can give it to her. She can reach out to me. Excellent. And I'll be happy to have that conversation with her.
Yeah. Just be careful. You might get 65 emails by tonight. Yeah. So I think, guys, why don't you put your hands together for our guest, Yeah. Demi's going to tell us what's going next, but just to give our guest the time to sip some water, our online participants especially, how many are they at the back? We want to just appreciate them. Like, how many are they? She's checking 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, there's so many. You're counting one at a time. No, don't go that way. How many are they? Okay. Okay, the number is going to come. We just wanted to appreciate them, whether they're in their tens or their whatevers. Have you seen the number? Yeah? Okay. Last I checked, there were about 200. So thank you so much as well. Great. Now, we're going to take a break for online participants. Please watch that video, and then Demi is going to tell us what we're going to do next. So maybe Team Annette, you could play the video for the online participants as we enjoy some cake.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and everyone in the audience for coming for this EmpowerHER, the 7th successful session that we've had. It's been an honor having you on this platform. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your personal journey with us. I think she deserves another round of applause, everyone. Before you leave, do you have any parting shot? Would you like to say something to the Gen Zs in the room, the millennials, everyone? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's our time, irrespective of whether you're female or male. I would say Gen Zs, millennials, this is our moment. I think you've proven it. Nobody is in doubt. But beyond what we are seeing every day is how do we catalyze this into something that is lasting? How do we structure ourselves? I know Gen Zs don't love that. They feel confined and, with boundaries, but they are important. To be able to take over, we do need to be able to create systems and structures.
EmpowerHER session, there's a man in this room who wanted to be on stage as well. Mr. Sami Mohule, he's going to take us through NSC's newest product, NSC Soko Play. If you could please clap your hands for him as he comes on stage.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How many people have been empowered? Show of hands. Great, 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 great. Honestly speaking, it's my first time to be here. Now we've been here before. Oh, second. The first time I was only doing the setup, and then now the second time I've actually participated virtually. So my name once again is Sami Ohana. I'm here to present the NSC's newest product, the latest product. It's called NSC Soko Play. So I'm here to build a world of imagination for yourself. Imagine a world where you can practice your trading skills without any risks. Now imagine when, by the time when you're ready to invest into the market, there's money which is going to be involved. And I don't know about you guys, but me, by the time you tell me to remove, even if it's 100 shillings, hey, I'm going to contemplate. It has to come back to me. But then now, this platform, as you can see on the screen, it's a platform where it enables you to practice your skills, join challenges, trade virtually with virtual money. I thought you were actually inviting me to take a seat. Thank you. I mean, it's time to be empowered.
Join the stage, sorry.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's actually comfortable. So yes, as I was saying, so NSC Soko Play, it's a virtual system which enables you to be able to log into the platform, have a glimpse of whatever really happens in the real life market situation. I don't know how many people in the crowd or the people who are watching virtually, I don't know how many people have CDSC accounts or who are trading in the live market currently. But just in case you're not, this is the opportunity where you can log in, sign up, register, and get a glimpse of what actually happens in the real life market. So yes, registration is only 100 bob. In fact, spoiler alert, I don't know who likes spoilers over here, but I'm going to give you a spoiler. There's going to be a contest which is going to be launched. So yes, you're trading with virtual money. You're going to register with 100 Kenya shillings only, but you're going to stand an opportunity to win real cash, not virtual cash, real cash. So with that opportunity, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'll take it, honestly speaking. I'm not going to tell you how much it's going to be. It's up to you. It's up to you guys now to find out. There's no spoiler for that one. So, with Soko Play, what are you entitled to? Current market news, the announcements, corporate actions, real life market prices, the closing price for each and every.
These ones, right?
Yes, yes.
They'll be on the platform. Okay.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. So for all 63 stocks which are currently listed under the NSE, you're going to get everything over there. You're going to get financial literacy, where you're going to be given tips on how to trade, what to trade, what's happening in the current market currently, so on and so forth. I mean, if I tell you guys everything, then what's the point of you signing up for the platform? Apart from that one, what else? What else can I talk about? Yes, I mean, you can see on the video right now. In case you have any more questions, you can meet me on the side. Then we can have a chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sami. I hope everybody will register for NSE Soko Play. It's easy to use, easy to, I think, learn trading from as well. Okay, and this brings us to the end of our EmpowerHER session. Thank you so much for tuning in again and for coming. See you next time. Bye.